Blessings, my sisters and my brothers. It is such an honor, a privilege to speak with you. I am Robert, humble messenger of the Law of One. It is my pleasure to share with you conscious channeling of LL Research. Newest channeling, March 15th, 2023. I am Quo. I am with this instrument at this time. We greet each of you, my friends, in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator, of which we are all a part. We are honored, as always, to be called to your group this evening, for this call is one which helps us to be of service in our own way. And this is the way we feel most honored to serve, to speak to this group in answers to queries, such as the one you have asked tonight. These queries are most important to the spiritual seeker of truth. We are most joyous as ever to see those faces with whom we have shared the road of service for some time. We might speak to you concerning the intersection of self-doubt with your service as instruments for the Confederation of Planets. We undertake our mission to speak to the love and the light inherent in the infinity and unity of all things. Knowing that we are working with you who are third density entities, we do not seek out avatars or perfect beings for this service. We work with those whose hearts are aligned with ours in desiring the alleviation of suffering, because they as instruments know suffering intimately, and because they feel in their own bodies the suffering so prevalent in your world, among those you love and those you don't know. We seek to work with you who are of this world now, not other than, not above, not exempt, not masters in your complete knowledge of all things, but those who, like all upon your planet, are greatly limited in your vision, where you understand so very, very little, where you must make choices in a relative darkness, unilluminated by the awareness of the true nature of reality. You must make choices based on faith and in the trust that that which is within your hearts will guide you most truly. If you can, learn to hear it and to follow it and to place love at the center of your journey and all of your choices. You who are our friends will have self-doubt upon your path and in your service, including serving as instruments for our thoughts. It is a peculiar situation to find oneself in as a third density entity, who is not different than any other third density entity, to share a message pointing to that which calls to your hearts, but which you feel you embody and know imperfectly. It is a peculiar position to share a testimony of travelers from beyond your realm, so to speak, while you, as you may judge yourself, stumble within your own seeking to know that which is spoken. What we seek and what we have to share will never, ever find its complete and total and accurate representation in your words. Even were you in a situation of what you call trance channeling, whereby your conscious mind was not filtering our message, and we could speak directly our thoughts. Truth is not of words. Truth is of love. It is of light. It is of unity. Your word symbols are no more than the finger pointing to the moon. In this regard, there is something of a distance, you might say, between that finger pointing upward and that celestial object in your heavens. But we speak, nevertheless, finding infinitely creative ways to convey what we feel is the essence of yourselves and the true nature of things. You are our partners in this service. You need not deliver that which this instrument minds. Oh, wait, we correct this instrument. This instrument's vocabulary gives us as blowing the mind of the other self, or offering some special type of revelation, or some, as you would scale it, raw level of precision and profundity. You need only to feel that love within you. Feel who you are, your imperfections included, and let that give voice to this message. While each in this circle is engaged in cycles of teaching, learning, and learning, teaching through this service and in other ways in their lives, this service, which you offer as vocal channels for the Confederation, is not one of teaching per se. It is one of offering a mirror to what others have within themselves already. It is helping others to remember what they already know. Fun and exciting information may come through now and then. One may glean something new about the workings of the universe and be able to extrapolate philosophically some new conclusion. But the deeper purpose of your work is in awakening the love that is waiting within each being, the love whose source is infinite. As we communicated through the previous instrument, self-doubt can be an ally. In that regard, if the sights are aimed upon this love in terms of catalyzing and challenging and motivating the self, it can also become a stumbling block if taken at face value. If enlarged into opacity, it becomes then your truth. You're identifying with this self-doubt, and as this instrument was speaking before the circle, giving it script writing ability for in relating to doubt of self in this way, one can conceptually divorce themselves from the love that they are, the love that they have to share. One can get lost in their own inner mental maze that critically evaluates oneself around each turn, such that they roam endlessly, finding negative reflection and a negative reflection upon negative reflection in each wall and each bend, such that they feel pain, and they believe this to be all that they are. An entity who, half alive, roams these halls, lost in their own negative opinions of themselves. Meanwhile, somewhat blinded to the love that they are. You, my friends, are here to put words to carrier waves that are love itself, or shall we say, stepped down distortion of love. This does not require mastery of the texts that is known to you as the Law of One books. It requires your open heart, your commitment to the path of healing, your dedication to being an instrument open to our message, your courageous ability to be able to trust yourself, to respect and honor those negative voices within you, but to know that you are far, far greater. That even if you cannot see it, that you are magnificent, and the sun is always rising in you. My friends, it is painful to spend too much time in the shadows. You do productive work there, but this illusion was intended to facilitate these sorts of experiences. But we encourage you to step out from those dark corners in the mind in the radical trust that this moment can be accepted, and you in the totality of all your choices, everything that you also don't know, every mistake that you have made, everywhere you didn't measure up to the next fella, and the next, and the next, and the next. You know what? Know this, that you are perfect as you are already. The more that you can leave behind the shadows, the more that you can inhibit the essential vibration that connects directly and straightly to the present moment, the more that you can inhabit this reality of love and give form to our message that it might beam outward to reach the many, many others feeling locked within the corners of their own minds, yearning to find the truth that is like a puzzle made just for them, locked away in the interior of their own heart. Not information per se, but love. Each in this room is fully capable of serving in this regard, each with their own unique strengths and their own unique voice, their own unique configuration of energy that allows us to explore this love through a different creative set of nuances, through a different chord in each melody. At this time, we will transfer our contact to this instrument, to the one known as Trisha. We are those known to you as Quo. We understand how challenging this density can seem. The seeming separation that exists between self and other self. And the environment around self is one that can disorient the self from the larger truth of all. That one may at times be lost in that separation, seeing oneself as not worthy or less than another self or of the creation. And we would remind that version of self that there is no such thing as a less valuable manifestation of the Creator, that all has its right place, and that even this sensation of self-doubt, though painful and uncomfortable, serves a purpose as a beautiful and right extension of creation, so that self realizes how false that narrative truly is. What truth lies beneath the assignment of identity and the assignment of value. One may study a history book and learn its content word for word, memorizing each page, but that only does so much good, if you will. It can only serve the entity so far. It is when one evaluates the content and sees it for what it is, makes connections in one's life and one's own experience, and that one may mine the gems from the content from whatever source or message. So, in your experience of self-doubt, in this practice, we would remind you that the gems and the treasures are abundant and all around for each and every one of you who's come into this service has come with pure intentions. Each and every one of you have your hearts directed and steered towards service to others. Each and every one of you have released the desires of the ego, the needs for recognition, the draw to be correct or right or righteous. And instead you come to the circle and practice with simple, open, and full hearts. That, my friends, you should not doubt. That, my friends, you should put your faith in. And that, my friends, you should find deep comfort within. And once that realization and that knowing can take root and genuinely become internalized, you will begin to see how beautiful and perfectly, imperfectly so at times perhaps, each and every one of you are. This is not to say that there are no moments wherein an entity may edit or reflect, but that doubting the self in such a way is no longer needed. That the vibrant beam of light and love that permeates and radiates outward from self without the cloudiness or the blockages of self-discrimination, self-doubt, or insecurity. This emotion and perception of self is unique to the third density, for it requires the illusion precipitated by the veil of forgetting, allowing each entity to perceive the self as anything but perfect and as existing in any capacity besides to that entity's fullest potential. Now, my brothers and sisters, we find the channeling circle blessed with the energy of this second density being, the one called BOSCO. And in this moment, we would ask our friend BOSCO if he has ever felt anything like self-doubt. And the response as we would perceive it is laughter. Of course not. I am BOSCO. And that is all that I need to be in any moment and in any situation. And with each step that I take, I reiterate to myself and to the world who I am, and that is BOSCO the cat.